Okay, this is the 100-120 class, and we're going to do some two-voice practice. It's just from our double murder case. It's not timed. And we will begin with a question for the record. Okay, and showing you item number, People's Exhibit 110, a little envelope. Do you recognize this item?
Yes,
What is it?
that would be the K-pack, or the envelope where I booked the bullets.
Envelope that you booked what?
The bullets.
The ones that you found in 1332?
Correct.
17 of them?
Yes.
In which part of the house?
I'll give you the exact location if I just look at the report. This was that was located in the living room on a shelf in a cup. The bullets were inside like a styrofoam cup.
Okay, small point, but let me just show you People's 111. Do you recognize the contents of this exhibit?
Yes, that's the styrofoam cup where the bullets were.
The 17 bullets were in here, and they were on a shelf in the living room?
In the living room.
Not in the northeast bedroom?
No.
Okay, all right. Now, this scale, could you check your report and see precisely where you found this scale? Is it your item 3 on your report, page 1?
Yes. Oh, it was in a wood cabinet that was underneath this plastic tote that was in the northeast bedroom.
So the search at 1332 East Weber, did you start that around 10:45 a.m. on April 3rd?
Approximately, yes.
And I take it then you did not find anything that you believed to be a controlled substance of any kind in 1332 East Weber. You didn't find any bags of drugs or anything like that?
Nothing like that we were able to get a positive test on.
Well, you mentioned some residue on the scale, and I imagine you had some suspicion about what would be on the scale.
Correct.
But was there enough there even to collect?
No.
Did you collect that, what you referred to as residue? Did you collect that and put it in a little container?
No, it was left with the scale.
I'm sorry?
It was left with the scale. There wasn't much to...
There wasn't enough to even collect a sample?
No.
In the same northeast bedroom inside the closet, did you find a school transcript for somebody named Verasak Tongsi?
Yes.
And in a drawer of the same wood cabinet where the scale was there a plastic storage container that contained a California ID card for Verasak Tongsi?
Yes.
And did you find also with the scale, with item number 3, the scale, did you find a citation written out to a person named Verasak Tongsi?
Yes.
You didn't find anything at 1332 East Weber that indicated that a person named Jackson Fasalium lived there. Phaysaleum. You didn't find any evidence indicating that a person of that name lived there, did you?
No, not that I know.
And you found no firearms, correct?
Correct. No firearms.
But And the rounds you found were .45 caliber?
Correct.
Where the .45 caliber ammunition was found in the styrofoam cup, was that on the top shelf of a cabinet in the living room?
I believe so. I remember it was on a shelf on the wall in the living room.
Did you indicate in your report that was the location?
I believe so. Yes. Yes. Top shelf.
The scale that you found at 1332 East Weber in the northeast bedroom, the one I showed you.
Yes.
Did you find anything that appeared to go along with that scale in any other searches you did that day? Do you have your report with you?
Yes.
Page 2 of 2.
Uh-huh.
Did you find a scale container with a scale missing?
Yes.
Where?
In apartment 15, Sierra Nevada, apartment number 24.
Mike and John Kalick's place?
Yes.
Okay. So what did you do with that item, the container for the scale?
That was also booked into property.
What property number did you give that?
I believe on the same one, B10727.
What number?
I don't have the numbers listed on my report.
Did you think those items were connected somehow, or there was a box that a scale would go in that you found also at?
Connected in which way do you mean?
You found an empty container at 15 North Sierra Nevada.
It was the cover for a gram scale, not a digital gram scale, but for a gram scale.
It's not connected in any way with what is marked as People's 107, is it? Whatever you found at 17 North Sierra Nevada.
Well, depends on how you mean by connected. It isn't, I mean, as in if you're putting pieces together, that scale does not go with that scale.
What you found at 15 North Sierra Nevada was not part of what is marked as 107 here.
Correct.
Correct. Got a new witness now. Question. Please take the stand, state your full name, and spell your last name for the record, please.
John W. Eisele. Eisele.
Where are you employed, sir?
I'm employed by Delta Pathology Associates. They contract my services to the San Joaquin County, Stanislaus County coroner's offices.
So you are a doctor?
Yes.
And did you perform an autopsy in this case on Demetrius Solomon and James Dudier?
Yes, I did.
On what date did you perform the autopsies?
April 3rd of 2004.
And then based upon the autopsies, did you form an opinion regarding the cause of death?
Yes, I did.
Could you briefly explain to us your education, training, and experience that qualifies you to perform an autopsy upon somebody and then to come into court and tell us the cause of death?
I received a bachelor's degree in Haverford College in Pennsylvania, my MD degree in Case Western, Cleveland, Ohio, and a master's degree in pathology, University of Washington in Seattle. I did a year of pathology internship at the University Hospital in Seattle, 2 years of pathology residency at the University Hospital in Cleveland, and a year of forensic pathology and fellowship at the coroner's office in Cleveland. After I finished my training, I spent 2 years at Indiana University Medical School in Indiana. I was on the faculty there doing most of my service work for the coroner there. I went to Seattle. I was a deputy medical examiner in the medical examiner's office and also had a faculty appointment at the University of Washington. I was there for 7 years. I went to San Diego, where I was initially the pathologist for the coroner, then a deputy medical examiner when the office changed to the medical examiner's office. And also, I had a faculty appointment at UCSD University.
Speak into the microphone.
Let's see. In 1996, I retired from San Diego County, spent about 5 years, 1997, I retired, spent about 4 years doing private consulting and part-time work for a couple of the coroners in that area. And then, since 2001, I've been working part-time for Delta Pathology, doing autopsies for those 2 coroners' offices here.
So approximately how many autopsies have you done in your career, if you can put a number on them?
The end of last year, it was a little over 9,700.
And you've qualified as an expert in courts of law before?
Yes, I have.
And you've been testifying for how many years? 20, 30?
27.
Well, you said on the 3rd of, okay, when you performed the autopsy of Demetrius Silman, who else was present when you did that autopsy?
There was a detective from Stockton Police Department. I believe it was J.J. Reyes.
Did you write a report about your autopsy in this case?
Yes, I did.
You have a copy of it with you?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Let's start with the autopsy upon Demetrius Silman. I'll ask you some questions about him, okay?
Okay.
And basically, can you start out by telling us what were his size, his weight?
He was 70 inches tall, or 5 feet 10 inches tall.
5 feet 8?
5 feet 10. Weighed 145 pounds.
And did you do an external examination of the body?
Yes, I did.
And did you do an internal examination of the body?
Yes, I did.
With regard to the external examination of the body, was there someone showing you people's one? Does this appear to be the person that you knew as Demetrius Silman?
Yes, it does.
Were there tattoos on him?
Yes.
Did you make a note of what they said to link it up to this photograph?
I'll have to look at my report.
Would that refresh your memory?
Yes.
On his chest, was there a tattoo?
Yeah. On the right chest, right pectoral region, a tattoo said, "In loving memory of Bryant Orland, 1968 to 1989. Across the base of the neck,
Was there a tattoo that said, "Beloved son, Demetrius Jr."? Do you have your report, page 2?
Yeah.
Yes?
Yes. There was a tattoo, pectoral region, said, "My beloved son, Demetrius Jr."
Does that photograph appear to be that person, Peoples 1, that you had identified as Demetrius Silman?
Yes, it does.
Okay. Now, was there someone at the autopsy taking photographs?
Yes. Brian McGinnis of the Stockton Police Department was taking photographs.
Did you draw a sketch of the injuries that you saw on the body of Demetrius Silman?
Yes, I did.
May I have marked as People's next in order number 112, which was preliminary hearing exhibit 11.
If you want, I have a little bit more legible copies I made of those.
Excuse me, do you have one for Demetrius Silman?
Yeah,
Okay, let me have that one marked as 112. Showing you People's 112. Do you recognize this exhibit?
yes, it's actually a copy of a diagram that I made during the time of the autopsy. I just redid it so it's, as I say, a little more legible.
Do you have the laser pointer in front of you there?
Yeah,
Did you see some evidence of some shotgun wounds? Yes or no? Excuse me, some gun wounds.
gunshot wounds, yes.
Gun wounds. Did you give numbers to the various injuries that you saw? Yes or no?
Yes,
Okay. Can you use that numbering system and go through them one by one now?
yes.
When you use the numbers, just to make it clear, are you ascribing any chronological order that the injuries were received?
No, they are just numbers I put on there to organize the wounds,
So
organize the report.
when you talk about injury number 1, that does not necessarily mean Mr. Selman received that as the first gunshot wound. Is that right?
That's correct.
And number 3 doesn't mean it's the first or last.
Correct.
Okay, let's start with number 1. Where did you see an injury on him that you marked as number 1?
Number 1 was on the left upper arm over the bicep. There was an entrance wound.
Have you drawn it in on People's 112?
Yes,
And where have you drawn it in?
there's an entrance wound on the outside of the left bicep.
And what does...
That's indicated N1. N is what I use for entrance. X is for exit. R for recovery. So the entrance wound is on the outside of the left upper arm, and the exit wound is on the inside of the arm.
Showing you photograph number 2. Can you make out from there what is shown in this photograph?
Yes, this is a photograph taken of the upper arm of Mr. Silman. And again, it shows the entrance wound on the right of the photograph, exit wound on the left.
How can you tell the difference between entrance and exit?
Entrance wounds, typically the bullet, the nose of the bullet is pushing into the skin before it breaks through the skin, and then the skin scrapes back along the edges of the bullet, so you see a circular rim of abrasion or scraping around the edge of the the edge of the entrance wound.
Can you tell about this injury number 1 to the left bicep, what direction it went?
It was going from left to right. With the arm at the side, it was going from his left to his right. And with him in an erect position, it would have been going slightly upward.
And is that Was anything recovered in connection with that injury?
No.
All right, moving on to wound number 2. Show us on Exhibit 112 where the next injury was, or the one that you numbered 2.
The entrance wound was on the left side of the chest, sort of in the front part of the axillar. Again, it's indicated here as N2.
Was there an exit wound associated with that one?
There was not an exit wound. I did recover a missile, a bullet.
Did you indicate where you recovered it on People's 112?
Yes, it's indicated as R2 on the right side of the chest.
Showing you People's photograph number 3. Can you see the tattoo with the word Demetrius?
Yes,
What is shown in this photograph?
it's the right side of the chest. He was in the hospital before he came to the coroner's office, and there were what it's showing is 2 incisions that were made in the hospital.
Okay, that does not show any of the entrance or recovery sites.
No, the entrance is on the other side, and the recovery site is not visible in this photograph. It was under the skin.
Okay, all right. So as far as this number, this entrance number 2 and recovery number 2, what path did the bullet go through as it went through the body from N2 to R2?
It went into the left chest, right between the 5th and 6th ribs, went through the lower lobe of the left lung, went across the center of the chest, and went across the front of the heart. Then it continued into the right chest, went through the right lung, went between the 6th and 7th ribs, and then stopped just beneath the skin.
And this will be some timed warm up. It is 2 voice at 120 words per minute. For the record, the next thing you knew after the tree hit the car was what? That you were sitting in the flower bed? Is that your next recollection?
No.
What was your next recollection?
The next recollection I have is this man was helping me get up out of the planter box.
What?
You heard me. He was helping me get out of the flower box.
Why?
I don't know.
You don't remember falling to the ground and hitting the ground?
No.
When this man helped you up, where were you at that time?
What do you mean?
Were you actually in this flower bed that's in the picture?
Yes, I was in the flower box.
Okay, that flower box looks like it's surrounded by cement.
Yes.
Do you know whether your head hit the cement or did you hit the dirt or what?
I don't know.
Did you feel faint at any time?
I must have because I don't remember anything.
Did anybody tell you what happened?
Not that I remember.
And you don't have a recollection right now of waking up when this fellow helped you get up?
No. The only thing I can remember is later on, the wife asked me, "What's the matter with you?" And I said that I don't feel very good. That's all that I said at that time.
Okay. Is that later the same day?
Yes, it was later on the same day.
Now, you say someone helped you up. Do you know who this person was?
No.
Do you know whether he might have been an employee of the fairgrounds?
I don't know. He was some drunk, for all I know.
Did you see him around?
I haven't seen him. I looked around all the employees at the fairgrounds, and I didn't find this particular man.
After he helped you up, did he disappear and that was the last time you saw him?
That's the last time I saw him.
Where did he go?
I don't know. He might have been there with the fair people. I just can't remember now.
So the fair people are the ones that ran this?
Oh, yes. There were a lot of them at that time.
What did this man have on?
I don't know.
You have never seen him since that day.
No, he was dressed in some clothes.
Do you know whether he saw this tree falling on the car?
I don't know.
Did you have any conversation with this man?
No, not that I can remember.
What do you mean?
I think I must have said something to him. I don't know.
He helped you to your feet, is that right?
Yes,
Were you able to stand when you got up?
yes, I was.
Well, did you have to go sit down at that time?
Sit down?
Were you able to stand at that time?
Later on, I sat down, if that is what you mean.
Right after this, how did you feel? Can you tell us?
I don't remember. I don't know. I can't tell you that for sure.
Okay. Was anyone that you know with you at the time this tree hit the car?
I don't know. I just remember seeing the man in the flower box. It is not something you see every day. He was pretty funny.
Just answer my questions.
Okay,
Okay. When you went back to the car, did you go there by yourself or did you have anyone go with you?
no, I went by myself and then they came later. Someone came later, as far as I know.
Okay. As far as you do not know if anyone else saw this tree hit the car.
I don't know.
Where did you leave him and your wife when you went back to the car to put the elephant in the car?
They were inside of the fairground entrance. There is a bar there, and they were inside the bar.
How far away was that from your car?
I don't know. I just can't remember that now.
Okay. Is that what is around the fairgrounds? What do you remember?
I don't know.
Is it something you can see?
Oh, yes. Yes, you can see through it.
What is it?
I don't know.
As far as you know, both of them were back behind there at the time the tree hit the car.
As far as I know, yes.
Do you know whether or not there were any witnesses at all to this tree that hit the car?
I don't know. No,
Did you ask anyone if they were a witness?
no,
On the day of the accident, did you ask anyone?
no, I did not.
That is what you were told?
Yes,
Was this on the day of the accident?
yes,
Okay. I want to take a look at the information that was filed in the court in this case. And at the back is the claim, a written claim.
yes.
I want you to flip through this and see if you can see anything that you recognize in it.
Yes.
Let me save you some time on this. Go to the last page of this and see if that is your signature that is written on this.
Yes.
Okay, that will save us some time.
Yes.
Your attorney signed it, the last page, and I know that your signature also is on this. But can you tell me that?
Yes. I know that.
Okay, so you must have read that before you signed it.
If I signed it, I read it.
Okay, and the document that we have here, do you think that you signed it?
Are you crazy?
Pardon me?
Do you think that I do not know my signature? We learned how to write in the first grade. Don't you have any other questions to ask me? That poor court reporter even looks bored. And for all the money that she earns, we should try to keep this interesting. Can't we talk about the man who fell into the flower box?
I am the attorney. I will be asking you the questions. Do you understand that?
Speaking of people who make too much money,
You will kindly just answer my questions and not add any comments of your own.
I will if I feel that I need to. Thank you.
Let's get back to the matter at hand.
Yes.
Okay, and the document that you signed is here.
Yes.
Now, in the complaint, you said that the tree which fell on your car, or part of the tree which fell on your car, had some problem.
How do I know if the tree had a problem?
I am just asking you how it looked.
I do not inspect trees as a matter of practice.
After the accident, did you go down to inspect the fairgrounds?
Yes.
I'll do a little bit more practice here at 130 words per minute, beginning with a question for the record. You are Billy D. Childers, the petitioner in this case.
Billy D. Childers. Yeah, Childers.
Give us your address where you're at now.
Route 3, Box 424, North Judson, Indiana, zip code 46366.
And on August 19, 1995, a Monday, were you employed at Ford Motor Company stamping plant in Chicago Heights, Illinois?
Right.
And you were working at that time. You were working what is called shift number 2, the day shift.
Right.
And on that date, how long had you been employed by Ford Motor Company before that date?
Before that date, let me see. Well, I hired in on August the 11th in 1969.
All right. And you are still employed there, is that correct?
Right.
And you're on medical leave now?
Right.
And the nature of your medical leave at the present time is not connected with what transpired at the stamping plant on August 19, 1995?
No.
All right. Now, what was your job class on August 1995?
Automatic blanket operator.
And you were working 11 department at Blanker 1?
Right.
And your duties as an automatic blanker operator, would you describe them to us, please?
Cut steel.
All right. Now, after you cut the steel, what do you do with it?
It went in a stacker, and then you pull them out, and they band them up, and they haul them off.
And so on August 19, 1995, about how close to 2 p.m., while working at Blanker 1 in 11 department, you sustained an on-the-job injury. Would that be correct, sir?
Correct.
At that time, would you tell us what you were doing and what happened to you?
Well, see, the blanker itself, it made two pieces at one time. One comes out the west side and one comes out the south side. Well, the one piece that come out the west side, it got hung.
Okay.
It's actually a homemade device to stack it with, and there was a wire. It went across, hooked onto the backhand. This piece of steel would go in because there is a place of metal here to hold it. Well, a piece of the steel that I was cutting got hung on that wire. Well, if you're cutting 20, 25 pieces a minute, well, by the time I'm over here, by the time I looked back, you got several pieces stacked up there. Well, when I seen that, I stopped the blanker. This had happened many, many times before. So when I went in to free that piece, so these other pieces could go in the stacker, just as I touched it, the whole thing just come down and hit my leg. It come right off onto my leg.